Alright guys, welcome to another beer review and another entry into the Patrons project, and this is Patrons project 13.04, which is brewed in collaboration with TankPetrol, Equilibrium and Other Half, and it's a can of the Amiga Vortex. So this is the first of the new series of the beers that spanned from Infinity Vortex, which was just one of the best beers of 2018, and the beers that I've had from this series within Patrons Project have been gorgeous as well. I'm not too sure if I've had all three originally, which if I haven't, that's very fucking frustrating. But when I heard that they were releasing this, I was planning a trip to Manchester anyway, so I went to Northern Monk Factory, got myself some 4 cans of... oh, they're down there. Got myself 4 cans. Got myself 4 cans of Heathen, and then picked up 2 cans of this. And yeah, I've already drank 1 can. Had it last night, loved it. Had it on tap in Northern Monk, loved it. And yeah, so finally getting around to reviewing it. Gorgeous artwork as per usual from TankPetrol. Of course, the Polish graffiti artist now residing in Manchester. So this is a double IPA, hopped with Mosaic, Citra BBC, Chinook and Simcoe, clocking in at 8.7% ABV in a 440ml can. And of course, as with the rest of the Patrons Project beers, they have the beautiful wraparound label, which you can actually just peel off and preserve, which is always good. So I've already talked about the breweries before from the first collaboration, so I'll just talk about the beer itself. So it's almost, I should say, becoming off to a great start. It is almost becoming an annual tradition with Hop City coming around again, that we invited Other Half and Equilibrium into the brew house to put together another big ludicrous IPA, and who better to design the artwork for these guys again than TankPetrol, of course. Was I going to say PankTetrol? And yeah, carrying on where last year's double dry hop IPA Infinity Vortex took off, we stepped up to double IPA territory, increasing the hops in the process. Brewed with, in fact, let me show you, so you can have something interesting to see instead of a fat double chin with a disgusting mouth on top of it, reading words. Brewed with a soft, rounded water profile and a simple base grist of extra pale malted barley with plenty of flaked oats, we put together a beer which was not only packed with everyone's favourite juicy hop flavours, but one which was also backed up with plenty of dank, resiny spine. In the whirlpool we used Simcoe, a hop still considered the industry standard in dankness. We then dry hopped in 3 stages, including a generous mid-fermentation first edition, using Citra BBC and Mosaic for maximal tropical notes, and a modern classic in Chinook, guaranteed to bring plenty of grapefruit, spice and pine to the mix. So yeah, fantastic stuff indeed. So, big fan of Northern Monk, as you guys probably know. Probably one of the most reviewed breweries on the channel, admittedly. Then, of course, with Mikkeller, because of the whole Mikkeller Beer Club stuff. But I've yet to be really let down by anything from the Patrons Project line. I think the only one that really didn't do much for me was was it a salted caramel porter or something like that with Cigar... excuse me. With Cigar City. I can't remember, but I wasn't really a big fan of that. And some of the other seasonals and one-offs from Northern Monk have been fantastic as well. And I'm absolutely in love with Heathen at the moment. Anytime I get the opportunity to pick up a 4-pack, I'm doing it. Just have to bear with me 1 second. Of course, I was getting interrupted. Luckily, I didn't actually unpause. Well, I did unpause. I didn't actually stop the video like the last time I've done this. Just need to make sure. Yeah, it's still recording, as you saw my patchwork and scruffy beard there. Anyway, so big fan of Heathen right now. Probably one of my favourite core range beers. To me, Heathen is to IPAs what Augustine Lager Beer Hell is to lagers. And if you know what I think of Lager Beer Hell, then you know that's a good thing. In my mind, you could be completely against that. But oh well. So let's get this poured and see what we get. I mean, you know what you're going to get with a beer like this and the people involved. But yeah, probably poured that a little bit too aggressively towards the end, so that head has bulked up quite substantially. Just I could smell it from here. But yeah, beer in the glass then, and it's like a compote. It's like squashed up fruits, preserves, just chicken stock, chicken gravy. Nothing is getting through that at all, and it's so luminous as well. But yeah, it's like you could poke holes in it and the holes would stick. And yeah, beer poured for about 2 fingers worth of a white fluffy head with some very subtle yellowy orangey tinges there as well. But yeah, it's got a really big heft to it on the body. That's what she said. Anyway, let's give it a sniff. It's jammy, it's got a hint of dankness, it's got all the tropical edge. Doesn't stride off too much in one direction in that regard. I think what I'm coming to really love about beers like this is when the breweries can pack them full of hops but keep the aroma nice and gentle. Because I do find a lot of times when you get like a really big, bombastic, in-your-face aroma, which is absolutely gorgeous, don't get me wrong, when you take a sip, sometimes that doesn't always follow through into the flavour. Whereas when a beer like this, you're getting all those characteristics, but you know that it's not going to be like either too much, because you can have too many hops. You can have a very green beer with hop burn, or sometimes it just doesn't live up to the aroma that was promised. And I need to stop touching my hair. But anyway, it's smelling damn good. It's breakfast juice, grapefruit, blood orange, a little bit of berry character. Smells absolutely fantastic. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Good. Once again, knocked it out of the park. For me, start of the show right away is that body. It's creamy. It's not the heaviest that I've had, don't get me wrong, but it is chewy. It's got like that sort of skimmed milk character. What I would say, and I did get this on the first can I had and on tap, it is still a little bit green. Now, it was released on the Friday previously, so it's Tuesday 21st of May. 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th? 17th or 16th, basic maths, not my forte. 17th or 16th that this was released. So you do get that slight medicinal character that you do get with some of these beers. So I probably actually could have left this for a few weeks and let it settle down a little bit. But that being said, it's just been poured out of the can, so it's not really like got oxidized isn't the right word, but you know what I mean, climatized to the room. It's not had chance to breathe yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's noticeable, but it's not harsh like I've had in the past, where it's just like, this is not pleasant to drink. This has that, you know, with that slight dissolved, like, vitamin C tablet flavour. You do get loads of pine, loads of resin. That Simcoe is coming through a shed ton on this beer. There's very subtle citrusy tones, almost like a sweetened lemon curd coming through. But then, of course, you've got grapefruit, pink grapefruit, a little bit of blood orange. The usual suspects. You're probably sick of me using those same fruits. I need to open my mind a bit more when I'm buying fruits. But like clementines as well, you know, soft, sweet characters. A little bit of mango, but there's a spiciness coming from that slight hop burn. There is a little bit of hop burn, I'm not going to lie, but it's not as bad as you would expect, and I've had much worse. But what I will say is, this isn't my favourite beer that I've had from Northern Monk or the Patrons Project, or the other guys involved. But that being said, Infinity Vortex, I know I keep going back to it, that's such a big beer to live up to. And even if they were to rebrew it, I think there is a chance that it probably wouldn't taste as mind-blowing as that did first time around. And that's the thing, I've brought this point loads of times, loads of breweries are doing beers like this. So a lot of them, as 10 out of 10 they can be, or 9 out of 10, will blend in from one another. So you start to like take consideration price point then, because if I can get this character from that beer, I can pay half the price and get 2 bottles of this beer, which will give me something similar to that one. But then it goes back to the stuff that's coming from the States and other parts of Europe. So I think you've always got to be a bit conscientious of what you're spending on beer, especially for your own palates and that sort of thing. But I'm not upset about it. I wish I'd have picked up 3 cans, but that would have been a little bit expensive. Although that being said, compared to other beers like this, not the worst price, especially when you're buying it directly from one of the tap houses. So I know the money's going directly to one of my favourite breweries. But I kind of wish I maybe would have picked up another can of this and let it settle. I know this is a long shot, but I might be visiting Rob from Hop Scene in June. So if I can get another can while I'm there, that might be the optimal time to drink this. It was a little bit gentler on tap. I didn't really get the notes because I was just drinking out of the can yesterday. Which sometimes beers taste a little bit better. Sort of like the Alchemist's Heady Topper, drink straight from the can. And a lot of beers I've tried that way, just drink straight, and it's actually a little bit more of a satisfying experience. But yesterday, I was enjoying it, but I was building it up too much to compare it to Infinity Vortex. I think that's the sort of trap you can get into, especially with the original brewers coming together and brewing the beer again, albeit in a double IPA form. But yeah, still a gorgeous beer. You would not turn this down. You cannot say with a straight face that this is a bad beer. You might compare it to other beers like this, but you can't say that even this now, even though I think it's still a little bit too green, it's not a bad beer. It's a wonderful beer. And I'm very much excited to see how they're going to be developing this series within Patrons project as well. Or unless it's going to be just like slight tweaks on the previous 3 recipes. Even that, I'd still buy them, give them a try. Do you know what I mean? But I've got to say, after drinking Heathen a few times recently, I'm probably enjoying Heathen a lot more than this. But that's because it's fresh in my memory and I've just drank it over the last couple of days. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, lovely stuff. It still is lovely stuff, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of Northern Monk. I'm not going to overly defend it. It's not my favourite beer that they've done. It's not my favourite entry into Patrons project. Is it a 10 out of 10 beer? No, not really. But at the same time, I'd be so happy if I brewed a beer like this. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of other people would be. So I'm just glad to see, you know, other half and Equilibrium back again. And I know it's not their finest work either, but it's, again, I keep saying that, but I feel like I need to say that it's by far a bad beer. In fact, I'd still happily give this an 8.5 out of 10. I'd still happily, if I was gifted a 4-pack of this, I'd rip it out of your hands and not even say thank you and run away with an evil laugh. But it's still damn good. I just think I maybe should have left it a little bit to rest in the can, let it mellow down a little bit, but I wanted to get a review up while it's still fresh and somewhat accessible, I'd imagine. So if you have tried this, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Does it matter? We can talk about it. We can discuss it. That's what it's all about. Check out Northern Monk. Check out Other Half. Check out Equilibrium. Check out TankPetrol. Check out my original reviews from this series. I'll put them down below, as well as the Patrons Project playlist, because it's still my favourite series right now with beers. Could Northern Monk brew these beers without the Patrons Project name? Probably. But I love the idea of collaboration. I know collaboration beers aren't to everyone's tastes, but when they can brew beer like this, and you've got the expertise from 2 of the standout breweries in America, then I'm all for it. And yeah, I'd just love to be able to try beers from both Other Half and Equilibrium a little bit more. So if anybody wants to gift their favourite beer tuber a care package, just feel free to get in touch. I jest, of course. But anyway, lovely stuff. The more I'm drinking it, the more I'm getting a little bit of a marmalade character, which is really nice. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Check it out if you haven't done so already. Love to hear your thoughts, opinions on this beer. If any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed it, can't speak now, then I'll put their links down below. And yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll join me next time for a review where I don't say the same thing about 10 different times. See you later, guys.